Welcome to the final video of our Bacalar road trip. In this video, we're heading back to Bacalar for a boat tour arranged by our Airbnb host. How do you feel?
Okay.
Happy.
Boat tours range from around $20 per person to over $100. We went with the lower range and had a great time. The first stop on our tour was Cenote Negro, also known as Cenote la Bruja, which means witch in Spanish. Our captain explained that swimming here is forbidden because it's dangerous. People have drowned in the deep, dark waters, and no one was swimming there when we arrived. Next, we stopped at the Canal de los Piratas, a narrow waterway that pirates once used to raid the town of Bacalar back in the 17th century. The water here was really shallow, so our captain dropped us off a bit further out, and we had to wade through the water to reach the canal. In the middle of the canal, there's an old abandoned wooden ship, placed there in modern times to resemble a historic shipwreck. After a while, the captain called us back to the boat, and we headed to our next stop, Isla de los Pájaros. We took a refreshing swim there and checked out all the different birds, and when we got back on the boat, the captain surprised us with a plate of my all-time favorite fruit, watermelon. Then he took us to Cenote Cocalitos, another place in Bacalar besides Los Rapidos, where you can see stromatolites, the oldest living life forms on the planet. On our way back, we passed Cenote Esmeralda, where you can really see why Bacalar is known as the Lagoon of Seven Colors. We definitely think a boat tour is a must-do on your Bacalar trip. After that awesome boat tour, we headed back to the town center for lunch. Steph's mom wanted a rice dish, which was actually pretty hard to find in this area. We went to a lakeside restaurant called Fruta de Mar. It was a really nice restaurant with a beautiful view of the lagoon, but the rest of us wanted hamburgers. So after that, we toured the area around the fort again, and then headed to a nearby burger joint called La Burguesía del Pueblo. You walk through a little strip mall with souvenir shops before climbing upstairs to get to the restaurant. The extra effort is absolutely worth it because, as you can see, these burgers look amazing and are some of the best burgers we've ever had. Plus, there was an amazing view from the balcony, and they even offer cool top hats you can put on as you enjoy your meal. After that delicious meal, we had to pass through the souvenir shops on our way out.
Hola, hijo.
Some of us didn't make it out though. I'm not a souvenir guy, so I headed over to the park across the street to play with the dogs instead. They all got excited for the smell of leftover hamburger.
He wants the hamburguesa.
Steph needed more pesos for her shopping adventure, so I was sent to the ATM, which you'll find here through this lobby on the north side of the park. After that, I sat alone on this bench, reflecting on that delicious burger I just ate. After what felt like hours of shopping, we finally headed down to the public pier to swim until sunset. Well, everyone else swam, while I ended up falling asleep on the edge of the wooden pier. Remember those giant marquesitas I forgot to show you in the part 2 video?
How is it?
Well, of course we had to get them again, and here's the promised footage of them. We've never seen marquesitas like these anywhere else but here in Bacalar. The final morning, baby, how do you feel? The next morning was our last in xul-ha. It was a great place to stay, and we do recommend it. Then we made the 5-hour drive back to Cancun and stopped to eat at an amazing Brazilian steakhouse called Divina Carne.
Hey, you. How does it feel to be back?
Our final night, we stayed at the Westin Spa and Resort in Cancun on the south end of Zona Hotelera. So funny story, a few weeks after our trip, YouTube randomly recommended a Cancun video from YouTuber Roberto versus the World. And in the video, he ends up at the same hotel we stayed in, and I recognized the same bellhop who took our bags to our room. Then there's a scene of him getting food from a delivery driver outside, and I thought, why does this all seem weirdly familiar? And then suddenly I realized we had actually seen all of this happen live that night, and we even rode up in the elevator with him at one point. We also spotted him vlogging from the cafeteria the next morning, and Steph was like, what is that weird guy doing? So that's the story of how we ended up meeting a YouTuber with over 365,000 subscribers. Hopefully we'll get there someday. But anyway, back to our story. We spent our last night walking around Zona Hotelera, stopping by Starbucks to enjoy some time together and soak in the final moments of our trip. So I'll leave you with some more footage of the hotel. I hope you enjoyed following us on our Bacalar road trip. Please support us by hitting the like button and subscribing to our channel. Leave us a comment, and thank you so much for watching.